Pat Weber has been surfing up and down the West Coast for more than 30 years. He runs a surf academy out of Carlsbad State Park, north of San Diego. And since the 1990s, he's been making trips south of the border, teaching novice surfers on Mexican beaches. But those days are over.
You can shear a sheep countless times. You can skin it only once.
4 months ago, Pat and his girlfriend Lori decided to jump in their RV and make an impromptu road trip to a remote beach in Baja. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision that changed their lives forever.
It's like, oh my God, this is what you read about. This is what happens to other people. And now it's happening to us.
They were driving on dirt roads south of Ensenada. It was dark and they were lost. So they decided to park the RV and set up camp. And that's when they heard a knock at their door.
When we refused to open up, I never anticipated that, gunfire would ensue.
I get up from the dinette at the same moment that the guy is stepping back and raising his firearm, and he shoots and it sounds like a cannon.
And I'm just thinking, you have got to be kidding me.
So now glass is flying everywhere, and it goes through the light fixture right here, blew out the sconce.
They say it was two men wearing matching ski masks and sweaters, and the two started ransacking the RV.
A couple of laptops, jewelry, ripped the VCR out of the wall.
Then the ordeal took an even more disturbing turn. At gunpoint, one of the men sexually assaulted Lori.
She was facing me on all fours, and with the guy's gun to my head, and I heard the zipper. And
after about an hour, Pat says the men left, carting off cash and equipment. Pat and Lori drove to the nearest city and filed a police report.
Pat didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. We were victims, and I understand that concept quite clearly.
Pat and Lori say they're never going back to Mexico, and they're not alone. As a result of escalating violence in Mexican border towns, tourism is down sharply. The Downtown Merchants Association in Tijuana says American visits are down 90% since 2005.
The U.S. tourists that come into Mexico can feel totally safe.
Alfredo Arenas is an international liaison officer with the Baja California State Police. He says recent crackdowns on police corruption have resulted in a much safer state. Arenas says he sympathizes with Pat and Lori, but says crime can happen anywhere at any time.
Obviously, issues get exploded a lot when it's a U.S. citizen that gets something happen to him on this side of the fence. Because there's the same cases of Mexican citizens that get on the other side, and nobody knows, no newscast knows, no newspaper puts it on the newspaper, except on this side, it gets really big.
And meanwhile, back in Carlsbad, Pat and Lori are still coming to terms with their terrifying ordeal.
We've gotten back to, a normal day, but there's still things that need to be resolved.